Hey everyone, this is Andrew speaking. One of the toughest tasks these days on the Play Store is definitely finding a truly great offline RPG. There are plenty of online games like Guardian Tales or Aether Gazer, which I really enjoy, but when it comes to offline games, even I get confused sometimes. But no need to panic because I've got 20 really good RPG games for you today. So drop that like and of course stick with me. Let's kick things off with this little gem that's perfect for all you Legend of Zelda lovers out there. Let's talk about AI. The story takes place in the fictional land of Engard, where the protagonist AIROHEARTH embarks on a journey to stop the evil plans of his own brother, who seeks to unleash an ancient force of evil sealed away for generations. The narrative touches on themes of betrayal, tragedy, and redemption, offering a truly emotional experience for the player. The gameplay is very reminiscent of the old Zelda games, featuring plenty of puzzles, some combat, and a story that's rich in detail, all within pixel art graphics in thick. The game boasts carefully crafted pixel art that takes you back to the 90s classics. The soundtrack perfectly complements the nostalgic atmosphere, immersing you completely into the world of Engard. If you're a fan of classic RPGs with challenges and a retro aesthetic, AIROHEARTH could be a great addition to your collection. A lot of people might not even know this game is available on Android, but I'm bringing it to you today. Let's talk about Chaos Ring 3. The story takes place in a world where adventurers arrive at the coastal city of Neo Paleo to become explorers and travel to the skies to a planet called Marble Blue. The game follows various characters and their reasons for embarking on a pilgrimage to Marble Blue. One of the main characters, Nazca, dreams of finding paradise, the greatest mystery of Marble Blue. As you've probably noticed, this one also has that classic turn-based RPG vibe with retro graphics that will remind you a lot of Final Fantasy. Announced in August 2014, Chaos Rings III was released in Japan in October of the same year, with the Android version coming out in 2015. If you're looking for an emotional story and a more old-school RPG that brings back the feel of classic Japanese games, Chaos Rings 3 will always be a solid choice. One of my favorite RPG genres, let's talk about Ash of Gods Tactics. As you've probably noticed, the game is a mix of tactical RPG and a very interesting card game. You can recruit, train, and equip units, as well as acquire artifacts that strengthen your characters. The game features story-based battles with 3 difficulty levels, plus a competitive PvP mode where you face teams of other players. The story takes place before the events of Redemption, exploring the first signs of the threat known as the Reaping. You lead a group of warriors on missions to prevent this catastrophe from consuming the world. The narrative is told through dialogues and events that unfold between battles, giving a more direct, action-focused perspective on the tactical gameplay. This is another one I highly recommend if you're after something old school but not too old. I'm not exactly sure how this game made its way back to Android, but it's there now. Let's talk about CRIMSONHEART 2. This is the one you've been waiting for, as an RPG with a strong focus on action but in pixelated characters. As you can see, the game gives you 4 main characters to start the story, but you can only choose 2 at a time and switch between them as you progress through the story. I believe this game was launched around 2014, so it works completely offline, especially the story mode, even though it has online features. Even after finishing the story mode, the game still offers extra gameplay like the Endless Tower and the player vs player PvP mode, which is probably the best part. With a retro pixel art aesthetic, the game delivers a classic experience with modern customization elements and ongoing challenges. This one's perfect for those of you who enjoy Honkai Impact but want something offline. Let's talk about Dawnbreak Origin. The story takes place during the Day of Eclipses, when a dark shadow appears and a mysterious woman descends from the sky. This event marks the beginning of an epic battle where you must fight against fate and uncover the secrets surrounding this world. The game features a wide array of characters with unique abilities and weapons, which greatly changes the gameplay and combat style of each. It's ideal for quick gaming sessions with bosses that require strategy and practice to defeat. The gameplay often involves taking down numerous enemies by unleashing different attacks and powers, much like many Souls-like games, for example. Graphically, it's really impressive, even though it's older, and it still manages to excite with its gameplay. If you're looking for an action RPG with stunning visuals, engaging gameplay, and offline support, Dawnbreak Origin is an excellent choice. Another tactical RPG on our list, my friend, but this one's a bit different and I'd say even better. Let's talk about Grimguard. The battles take place on an isometric grid where you strategically position up to 3 heroes per mission. Each hero has unique abilities, making tactical decisions essential to overcoming the challenges. The story unfolds in the world of Terrenos, threatened by an ancient entity known as Primorva. These creatures, embodying primal emotions like hunger and lust, have escaped their confinement and now corrupt everything in their path. To fight back, you must gather the legendary heroes known as the Dawnseekers and lead them into battle. Unlike many Android games, this one presents a high level of difficulty, making it truly challenging to play. The combination system is well explored, and of course the roguelike elements make everything even tougher. In the end, Grimguard proves to be a great surprise. To be totally honest with you, this style of game doesn't really attract me that much, but let's talk about GOODSEEKER 2: The Monastery. This game is pretty hidden on the Play Store with only 500 downloads, and you can't look at it without thinking about the old Diablo games, as it's very similar but with a difficulty level that makes it all the better. You can choose between different classes like warrior, mage or rogue, each with unique abilities and distinct playstyles. Thus, the game is somewhat sandbox where you don't have many quests or personal objectives. It's more about evolving your character to the max and seeing how far you can go. You can team up with friends to tackle challenges together or trade rare items to complete your collection. If you're a fan of action RPGs with dark themes and intense challenges, GOODSEEKER 2: The Monastery offers an engaging and tough experience. Perhaps the only true Souls-like on Android, but the truth is, it's also a great RPG. Let's talk about Pascal's Wager. Set in the dark world of Solace, where the sun has disappeared and a dark fog drives the inhabitants mad, players take on the role of Terence, a messenger searching for his missing wife. The journey involves exploring decaying locations, battling corrupted creatures, and unraveling the mysteries behind the fall of the Colossi, once beings who protected humanity were. Unlike many other games on this list, Pascal's Wager stands out with its slower yet highly strategic combat. Each attack consumes a bit of the character's sanity. When reaching a state of insanity, enemies become more dangerous, but the player gains access to special ability. If you're a fan of challenging games with a dark atmosphere and rich storytelling, Pascal's Wager offers an immersive experience on both mobile devices and traditional platforms. That game that kind of looks like a meme graphically, but is actually really good. Let's talk about Sword and Sorcerers. The game features an interesting world split between swords and staves, which are the game's main classes. After creating your character, your main goal is to unite these two forces to fight against a greater evil. Graphically, I admit the gameplay might seem a bit confusing, but the actual gameplay itself isn't bad, especially when you start casting spells. The game offers a nice open world for you to explore, and while there's a storyline to follow, the game gives you a lot of freedom to do whatever you want. This is one of those new games that, honestly, I didn't expect much from. Let's talk about Titan Souls Mobile. The funny part is there's already a game with the same name, but the story seems to be the same. The objective is to explore a mysterious world and face colossal titans, each with unique mechanics. Both the player and the enemies can be defeated with a single hit, requiring precision and strategy in every battle. The game does give you complete freedom to explore the map and literally do whatever you want. The more quests you take on, the stronger your character becomes, enabling you to face bigger and more powerful bosses. The gameplay is fun and graphically it's quite acceptable. If you enjoy challenging games with simple mechanics and intense combat, Titan Souls is a great choice for mobile devices. A very old game, but I think it's definitely worth checking out, especially since it's still around today. Let's talk about YS Chronicles. The story follows Adol Kristen, a young, red-haired adventurer who arrives in the kingdom of Asteria, ravaged by demonic creatures and surrounded by ancient mysteries. In Easter, Adol seeks the 6 books of Ys to uncover the origin of the evil plaguing the land. In Ys 2, the adventure continues directly as Adol faces new threats and uncovers even deeper secrets about the world of Ys. Both the first game and its sequel are available on the Play Store, and I believe it might be a remaster or a remake because the game looks really beautiful and well done. The combat is fun and reminds me a lot of old-school RPGs, especially the action-focused ones like this one. If you're a fan of classic action RPGs with an engaging story and unique mechanics, YS Chronicles offers an excellent opportunity to explore the origins of one of the most beloved series in the genre. Let's talk about this very old Android RPG that's still worth playing today, ZENONIA. You play as Regret, the protagonist from the first games, who is revived in a new era to combat a reborn evil. The world is in chaos, corrupted by demonic forces, and Regret must rediscover his powers to prevent total destruction. The story is filled with time travel, reincarnation, and epic battles between good and evil. The game features 4 playable classes, each offering a different playstyle, but I personally love the Druid, definitely my favorite. Although the game is quite old, developed by the now defunct Gameville, even though it's online with formats like PvP, the entire story can be played offline, giving you a mix of both online and offline experiences. This is one of the most classic RPGs on Android, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Let's talk about one of the last games from Gameloft and one of the last to be available on the Play Store, Sacred Odyssey. You play as Aiden, a young man chosen by fate to embark on a sacred journey and prevent the kingdom of Arcadia from being consumed by darkness. Guided by a mysterious princess and ancient prophecies, Aiden must find legendary artifacts and face epic challenges to fulfill his destiny as the world's savior hero. When Gameloft made games, they were quite interesting because they simply created games that people would still play today. For example, in this game we have a vast open world, an engaging story mode, and pretty solid combat. It's really hard to find a flaw in this game, even though it's quite old. If you enjoy games with a Zelda-like spirit like Oceanhorn or Evelyn, Sacred Odyssey was one of the genre's great pioneers on mobile. One of the most interesting RPGs on this list, I really enjoyed the gameplay of Shadow of the Depth. The story follows Arthur, the son of a blacksmith whose village was destroyed by monsters, leading him to seek revenge in the depths of the abyss. Throughout his journey, other characters with different motivations join the cause, each providing a unique perspective on the events ravaging the world. The game features over 140 passive abilities along with talent and rune systems that allow for deep character development. Shadow of the Depth is a solid addition to the roguelike genre, offering a combination of strategic combat, an engaging narrative, and a striking aesthetic. Ideal for fans of challenging games who appreciate a strong story and immersive environments. A game that's literally hidden on TapTap and almost never shows up for you, let's talk about Zero Fiction. In Zero Fiction, you control a team of heroines in turn-based battles with action elements. The battle system allows you to perform combos by tapping on the character icons, and special attacks are triggered by swiping up on the screen. Each character has unique abilities including close range attacks, magic, and ranged attacks. The goal is to defeat enemies with attack sequences to earn higher scores and strengthen your team. The game features anime-style graphics, though quite different, with very well-designed characters. While it may seem like a typical turn-based RPG, it stands out with slightly faster and smoother combat. The game has received mixed reviews from players. Some praised the graphics and combat system, while others pointed out limitations in the content and story depth. With an average rating of 3.7 on review platforms, Zero Fiction is considered a fun experience, though not revolutionary in the genre. Without a doubt, one of the most beautiful and best RPG games on the Play Store and also offline, let's talk about Trials of Mana. The story takes place in a world threatened by the resurrection of the Benevodons, destructive monsters sealed away by the goddess of mana. With the weakening of mana, dark forces seek to free these creatures to dominate the world. Players choose one protagonist and 2 companions from 6 available characters, each with distinct backstories and motivations which influence the unfolding of the narrative and provide different experiences with each playthrough. The game truly manages to excite in many ways, making it one of the best in this regard. The many characters give the game a sense of scale, and each one has different aspects, even offering unique stories within the main plot. After completing the main story, an additional episode becomes available, offering extra challenges and further deepening the narrative. Another one of those really underrated yet truly amazing old games, let's talk about Soulstone of Line. The story takes place in the fictional world of Atsland, where the powerful Stone of Life, which holds the power of ancient spirits, became the target of a war between those who sought to control it and those who wanted to keep it hidden. Ignis, the stone's protector, won the war, but 2,000 years later the threat resurfaces as Necrosis seeks the stone's power once again. It's up to the player to help Ignis prevent a new war from breaking out. You can't look at this game without thinking of Zenonia. The game likely came out around the same time and became a strong competitor. It's still active to this day and continues to be highly rated despite being an older game. You can even play PvP modes within the game, but even without an internet connection, you can keep playing. Let's talk about a few action RPGs on the Play Store that are offline, and this is one of the examples. Let's talk about MIYA. In MIYA, you take on the role of an agile warrior who faces hordes of enemies in a world filled with advanced technology and challenges. The combat system is real-time, focusing on quick attacks, precise dodges, and a blocking and counter-attack system that rewards fast reflexes. Additionally, the game offers progression mechanics, allowing players to collect resources, unlock outfits, and upgrade skills to take on challenging bosses. If you're looking for a game with a deep story, unfortunately, MIYA might not be for you. However, if you're after smooth combat with roguelike mechanics, this could be the best one for you. The game stands out for its vibrant graphics and fluid animations, featuring a charismatic protagonist in futuristic settings. Its aesthetic is reminiscent of titles like Nier Automata, with a touch of anime, delivering an immersive visual experience. The first one on our list is in first person, but you won't regret it. Let's talk about MARGONEN Adventures. In MARGONEN Adventures, you take on the role of an adventurer exploring dark dungeons filled with monsters and traps. Combat takes place in real time but incorporates card mechanics where you use abilities represented by cards to defeat enemies. Every decision is crucial as the strategic use of cards can determine success or failure in battles. Additionally, the game features roguelike elements where each dungeon dive is unique, with procedurally generated maps and varied challenges. Character progression allows you to improve skills, collect equipment, and unlock new cards to strengthen your deck. The game adopts a pixel art visual style, evoking the nostalgia of classic RPGs. The environments are detailed with dark dungeons and immersive atmospheres. The characters and enemies are well designed, contributing to an enjoyable visual experience for fans of the genre. This game mixes two of my favorite things in games, RPG and farming. Let's talk about KITARA FABLES. The story takes place in KITARA, a world inhabited by anthropomorphic animals. You play as a young feline warrior sent to Po village to investigate the aggressive behavior of the local wildlife. As you progress, you discover an ancient forbidden magic that may hold the key to restoring peace in the region. The game doesn't have much of a story mode to explore. It's more of a sandbox where you create your own story and literally do whatever you want within the game. With colorful cartoon-style graphics and charismatic characters, KITARA Fables has an aesthetic that reminds me of games like Animal Crossing and Stardew Valley, offering a cozy and enjoyable visual experience. But that's not all. There are plenty of bosses to defeat and a huge map to explore with your kitty. One of the best offline RPGs on the Play Store and also one of the most obscure. Let's talk about ASTRIS. Set on the planet Alindo, which never knows night, the game puts you in the role of an interplanetary investigator. Your mission is to explore this peculiar world divided by ring-shaped storms and uncover the mysteries surrounding its existence. Much like KITARA Fables, the game lets you explore the map freely, offering small quests that don't greatly affect the gameplay or the story itself. ASTRIS combines turn-based combat with semi-real-time action, providing a dynamic and strategic experience. Players can explore dungeons, solve puzzles, and interact with unique characters, each with distinct abilities. The game is offline, allowing for a continuous immersion in the story. Critics have generally been positive, highlighting the production quality and the engaging narrative approach. And that wraps up our list of hidden gems in the RPG genre. These games might not always be in the spotlight, but they offer incredible experiences that are definitely worth exploring. If you enjoyed this video, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next adventure.